Scout Council takes work and can begin with a simple introduction. This presentation is for auxiliaries wanting to serve in AuxScout but might not have good contacts or any contacts with the local council. So where do you start? Here's a big tip. Similar to the auxiliary, the Boy Scouts of America has their own language, so you should get familiar with its acronym lexicon. There are both volunteers and paid professionals. Get to know the leadership positions, what they do. It will be helpful for you to know where, how, and who they serve. Auxiliaries have served in many scouting capacities for many years. They serve as Sea Scout skippers, scoutmasters, merit badge counselors, camp staff, and even National Jamboree staff. These auxiliaries can be an asset to your division's AuxScout program, so take the time to discover who these individuals are. Veteran scouters will have relationships already established through their service in scouting. So if it's working well, then keep doing what you're doing. This presentation offers ideas of how to start from scratch. If you think you could use a few new ideas, and who doesn't, then let's look at some possibilities. These ideas have proven success all over the country. They are revisited each year over a cup of coffee with the different council personnel involved. Here are some tactics for engaging with your Scout Council. We will talk about some in detail. All are easy, and most don't take much time to successfully complete. A district staff officer for AuxScout, or DSOAS, has been appointed for all auxiliary districts. You can find out the name of your DSOAS by looking them up in Aux Directory or by contacting your district. If your division has made the decision to participate in AuxScout, then your division commander should appoint a division staff officer for AuxScout, or SOAS. The appointment is recorded in AuxData on the annual change of officer form. It should also be passed on to your DSOAS. The SOAS position has its own defined duties, responsibilities, and reporting. One task the SOAS can do immediately is identify the councils in your AOR and contact them. Of note, some districts have Assistant District Scout Officers for AuxScout, or ADSO-AS, and your SOAS may work directly with the ADSO. Youth protection training is mandatory for auxiliaries who will be working directly with BSA youth. This training is available online and takes about 90 minutes to complete. It is not necessary to be BSA registered to take YPT training, and auxiliaries' personal information will only be used to record training completion. Remind members that upon completion of YPT training, they should save their completion certificate and give it to their flotilla commander, who will send it in to DIROX for entry into AuxData. An auxiliarist may be asked to show it at Scout events, activities, or camp. Remember that the Sea Scouts are our youth leadership development program. Some councils have established support for the Sea Scouts at the council level. This will usually take the form of a council Sea Scout committee, which may have a chairman or council commodore. If your local Scout Council has a council commodore, work with them to make the connections with the local Sea Scouts. If your council does not have council-level Sea Scout support, you will want to reach out to the local Sea Scout units, called ships. Some councils have no Sea Scouting, in which case you should speak to the volunteer or scouting professional responsible for the older youth programs. In councils that have Sea Scouting, you should work with the volunteer leaders to identify what the program needs are. This can include training, activities, volunteer help, or possibly help with starting additional Sea Scout ships. Some of these needs may be beyond what your division can offer, but see which will work well with your resources. Finally, look for joint activities that you can do together. Public affairs works particularly well. Consider doing joint boating safety booths at scout shows, boat ramps, and boat shows. It will benefit both groups and are easy to pull off. Don't forget to have joint social events like picnics, dinners, and bridges of honor. Land Scouts earn merit badges to advance in rank. Unless they are working towards Eagle, Sea Scouts generally do not earn merit badges. There are 14 identified water-related or auxiliary-related merit badges. Auxiliaries who possess career or vocational backgrounds in merit badge subject matter make excellent marriage badge counselors. These individuals may be in your flotilla right now. Auxiliaries interacting with youth in this way fulfill one of the methods of scouting, that is, adult association. Adults of high character provide the best example from which our youth will learn at this stage of development. If you offer a merit badge counselor training for your members, be sure to provide enough BSA adult volunteer applications for each one to complete and submit to the local Scout Council. There is no fee for registering as a merit badge counselor. Registrations are renewed yearly through the council. Most councils have venues where Scouts can attend summer camp. Summer camp usually offers an aquatics program. The council's aquatics committee oversees the aquatics programs offered at summer camp, as well as the training of all summer camp staff, BSA lifeguards, and certification of aquatics supervisors. Ask to be part of your local council's aquatics committee. You'll soon gain knowledge about their current needs and how auxiliaries might help the committee fulfill its mission. Above all, water safety for Scouts and program is most important. Most Scout camps have an active waterfront that involves canoes, kayaks, rowboats, and sailboats. While BSA's aquatics policies are very well thought out and rigorously implemented, it is not unusual for vessel maintenance to be left to camp ranger staff, who are usually overtasked with camp upkeep responsibilities. Ask whether you can do vessel safety checks on the camp vessels. This will serve a twofold purpose for the council. It will help to identify which vessels are in good shape and ready to be used, while also flagging vessels that require immediate or longer-term repair. It's worth noting that, given the nature of Scout camp vessels, it is possible to thoroughly assess a substantial number of vessels with a fairly modest investment of time. Your SOVE will love you for this. Another area where providing VSCs is important is examining all Sea Scout vessels, which are required by BSA to have a vessel safety check annually. Aquatics during summer camp include swimming and life saving, as well as paddlecraft, canoeing, kayaking, small boat sailing, rowing, and stand-up paddleboards. All merit badges contain requirements Scouts must complete to earn a merit badge. The first few requirements in each pamphlet addresses health and safety issues and first aid emergencies that could arise while participating in the sport or activity. This includes recreational boating safety. Auxiliaries have a great opportunity to offer RBS orientation classes to the youth at summer camp where water-related merit badges are offered. An RBS orientation class lasts about 30 minutes. Given by auxiliarist instructors, this allows the waterfront youth staff to continue their prep for the day, and the Scouts experience a focused presentation on safety and wearing life jackets. Many adult volunteer leaders attend summer camp with their Scouts. With the permission of the Aquatics Committee and the Council Camping Committee, auxiliarist instructors can offer cold water immersion, or CWI, training for the adults in camp. CWI education is also very important for Sea Scouts. While our RBS education focuses on proper selection and wearing of life jackets, it is important to teach the youth what physically happens to the body once submerged in cold water. By teaching the 1-10-1 principle and knowing what to expect, a victim is less likely to panic and thus plan how to self-rescue and survive a cold water immersion. Roundtables are monthly meetings for adult Scout leaders. Venturing and Sea Scouts can also hold their own roundtables. Youth roundtables are less formal than the typical district roundtables and are far more social. They can be held most anywhere, for example, a park, lake, a reservoir, or the Scout camp. A venturing roundtable might have a grill and bring your own sides for fellowship, followed by presentations from a local fire department rescue and dive team, and maybe practice using expired fire extinguishers. Ask the youth what they might want to learn about and plan from there. Remember, adults facilitate in making ideas happen for the youth. Many Scout councils have local initiatives to address very real emergency preparedness scenarios. Because of a large wildfire several years ago in Colorado that required a complete emergency evacuation the first week of summer camp, many lessons were learned. We were not quite as prepared as we could have been. Denver Area Council decided to recreate a successful emergency service program previously used in the BSA to prepare older Scouts to assist in emergency situations by having them certified in various skills to earn the right to participate. The program grew out of a general need of preparedness for World War II. In post-war years, the program continued with the need for civil defense and emergency preparedness. Auxiliarists have a unique advantage serving on an emergency service corps team because of our corps training. Credentials and training for ESC include ICS 100 and 700 certification. So an auxiliarist is halfway certified to serve on a council ESC team. Note, however, Emergency Service Corps, or ESC, is currently implemented as a pilot course in Denver Area Council. It has been underwritten with privately donated funds, private and council equipment donations, and hundreds of hours of team volunteer work. The ESC committee meets monthly by telephone conference and quarterly in person at Scout headquarters. ESC also hosts Stop the Bleed classes twice each year for all council, youth, adults, professionals, and auxiliarists. Years ago, a citizen donated a well-worn trailer to the council. It languished for years until the ESC decided it would make an effective mobile radio communication center. Through the generosity of several Scouters, the trailer was stripped to the bare walls and rebuilt from the ground up. It now contains numerous radios, including a marine radio, computers, printers, equipment racks, antennas, mast, and a repeater. And since the auxiliary has a seat on the ESC committee, its input was encouraged and hours of work donated in the building process. This mobile operations center is available to the auxiliary for our use anytime. We look forward to using it during our OPEX in the summer. Here's a list of a few resources that you should take note of where you'll find this presentation as well as the other AuxScout presentations.
So do we have any questions for Amy on this topic or any other topic this evening? Well, let me seed the questions with one that came in the last 20 minutes or so on the AuxScout Facebook group. There was a question about whether there were marketing materials for promoting Sea Scout open houses. I provided the auxiliarist with the page on the Sea Scouts BSA website. They have a marketing toolbox, and all that you need to do is to download the flyer and then drop in the information on the place and time for the activity. The auxiliarist got back and asked whether these flyers had been approved by the Deputy National Commodore for Marine Safety. And the answer was, since this was a promotional flyer for a Sea Scout event, there was no need for the Coast Guard Auxiliary to review the flyer. The Coast Guard Auxiliary logo did not appear on the flyer, so there was nothing for the auxiliary to review. I realized that wasn't exactly on topic, but since it just came in, one thing that you should remember is that the Sea Scouts BSA website is an excellent source of information, and it would be particularly useful in answering the question of how can you work with your local Scout Council. I'm going to type the URL for the Sea Scouts BSA website in the chat box. Are there other questions? While people are mulling that over, I want to just go to the schedule for the upcoming workshops. What we're looking at right now is the AuxScout Facebook group. Lots of good stuff. The next workshop coming up, it will be in 2 weeks. It is the workshop on AuxScout and paddling programs. A couple weeks later, there will be a workshop on selling AuxScout to auxiliary flotillas and divisions. On the 22nd of March, we're going to rerun the workshop Introduction to Sea Scouting. On March 29th, the workshop AuxScout Standard Operating Procedure workshop will be rerun. And then on Sunday, April 5th, we're going to start something new. We're going to be running a quarterly AuxScout Staff Officer Forum. This is intended for SOASs, ADSOASs, and DSOASs, and it will include news and information that will help people do their jobs, as well as provide an opportunity for people to ask questions. So are there any other questions that anybody would like to ask at this point?